Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. The drama of Victoria's babysitter, Holly's furious news, Stefan is not there. The Wednesday, March 20th spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that Stefan Di, who had vanished and wasn't returning calls or texts, received an angry voicemail from EJ Di. Nicole Di mentioned that it was early and speculated that Stefan might still be asleep, but EJ made up a story about being on business travels abroad and claimed Stefan ought to have set an alarm. Holly Jonas chastised EJ for arresting Tate Black when she arrived downstairs. EJ gave Holly the reassurance that Tate had been returned to the hallway house and that he had chosen not to file charges. Holly was temporarily soothed by that, but as soon as she learned about the restraining order and ankle monitor, she lost it. Holly rushed out, insisting she go for a walk in the park by herself. EJ and Nicole appeared relieved that the restraining order was keeping Holly and Tate apart because they were concerned that their friendship would develop into something more. Regarding Nicole's intended baptism event, EJ questioned whether now was actually the ideal time to hold it. Nicole thought that canceling at such a late hour would be impolite. Furthermore, EJ recognized that Nicole was healing in some way from the loss of her baby child by thinking of Jude Brady as a close friend. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Eric Brady met Teresa Donovan in the town square and learned the most recent information regarding the Tate saga. With everything that had transpired, Teresa didn't think Tate and Holly were a good match. Jude became cranky in his stroller and Eric had to depart, but not before giving Teresa a little encouragement. On Wednesday's DOOL program, Eric ran into Holly in the park and overheard her grievances on Tate's unjust treatment. Eric relived his promise to Brady Black to speak with Holly, as it appeared that she was concealing her retrieved memories of New Year's Eve. Eric nudged Holly to tell him what she recalled, but Holly remained vague, claiming that all she knew of Tate's innocence was that he was a decent man. When he got back with EJ, he contacted a guy named Gregory and asked if everything was ready to transport Stefan to the airfield. When Stefan failed to appear, EJ became enraged and frantically searched for his brother in preparation for his escape. On Wednesday's episode of Wednesday's Days, Xander Cook and Sarah Horton had breakfast together of porridge and then went to pick up Victoria Horton Cook. Maggie Kyriakis was having trouble getting Victoria to stop crying at the Kyriakis estate, so Konstantin Meleounis thought back to how he used to put Katharina to sleep when she was a baby. Maggie gave in to Konstantin's request to hold Victoria, and he seemed moved as he walked Victoria around the room and sang her a Greek lullaby. When Xander and Sarah arrived, Xander immediately retrieved Victoria from Konstantin because he didn't seem comfortable with him holding her. On Wednesday's episode of Days, Xander informed Maggie that they would feel more at ease if Maggie was the only one watching the kids after Konstantin left. Maggie backed Konstantin since he was so nice with Victoria and felt that was unjust. Maggie pretended that the fact that Konstantin had told her about the death of his own daughter strengthened his already strong relationship with Victoria. Sarah pondered whether Maggie's chanting of Konstantin's praises had influenced Xander's decision once she had left the room. Conversely, Xander was even more certain than before that Konstantin was tricking Maggie. Again in the town center, Konstantin ambushed Teresa for a progress report and discovered that, prior to Alex Kyriakis' retreat, she had come dangerously near to receiving an engagement ring. Teresa acknowledged that she had moved out of the flat, but because Alex was winning so much with Maggie, Konstantin put pressure on her to lock in Alex's wealth. Teresa cautioned Konstantin not to underestimate Maggie and hinted that she might eventually catch on to the scam, but Konstantin was full of optimism. Johnny and Chanel Di rekindled their romance in their Salem Inn suite before sitting down to a sit-down breakfast. Chanel decided that because Paulina Price was leaving the hospital, a homecoming ceremony would be appropriate. Johnny wondered how they would manage to pull it off in time, but Chanel believed they could. After that, Johnny called to ensure that Steve Johnson would assist with the little get-together to welcome home. Johnny and Chanel also take some time to consider how far their relationship has come. Along with vowing to follow their Horton Cabin honeymoon itinerary, the couple also hinted at a future trip they would take that would involve more exotic locales. Keep an eye on Days of Our Lives as spoilers suggest that Johnny and Chanel will experience many highs and lows together as husband and wife. Johnny and Chanel get up at the Salem Inn and order room service. But Johnny doesn't feel very hungry, at least not for breakfast. He gives her a passionate kiss. Once they're hungry, they settle down to actually eat. Johnny observes that Paulina never lost hope in Abe as they marvel at both of their miracles. Chanel notes that they never gave up on one another. She never stopped loving Johnny, even when they were away and spending time with other people. The same is true for Johnny, who used to constantly dream about her. It's no longer a dream, according to Chanel. It is so genuine. And flawless, Johnny continues. EJ sends Stefan a nasty message from the mansion. The flight is in 1 hour, and the car is waiting. Stefan must arrive immediately. Nicole asks if there's anything she can do after overhearing EJ's frustration as she walks into the living room. All EJ ever needs is her presence. When Holly sees their schmoopiness, she grimaces and lashes out at EJ for getting Tate arrested. EJ informs a relieved Holly that Tate wasn't charged by him. Tate is unable to be within 100 feet of her, though, and must wear an ankle monitor. Holly pouts. Tate is not deserving of this. Things get worse when EJ tells Holly not to talk to Tate before she heads out for a walk. Alright, she grimaces. Sarah enters the mansion just as Constantine is wondering what Katharina might look like today. Xander follows, which makes Maggie very happy. Victoria is swiftly removed from Constantine's arms by Xander. Xander tells Maggie that they would feel more at ease if Victoria stayed with her while she watches the kids after Constantine leaves. Maggie, who lost his own daughter when she was a young woman, stands up for Constantine. Chanel recommends they have a welcome home party for Paulina later today at the Salem Inn. Chanel assigns Johnny and herself different tasks and advises that they wait to invite anyone until they can speak with Abe. Johnny is available to assist her. Everything is well in the world, isn't it? Smiles Chanel. Teresa takes a business call in the square and then closes her eyes, saying, "Today's going to be a good day." She opens her eyes and is shocked to discover Constantine standing in front of her. He inquires about the status of the plan to inherit Alex's wealth. Teresa describes how Alex backed down from a proposed marriage, leading her to vacate his residence. Since then, she hasn't seen him much, because she is concentrating on her son. She is instructed by Constantine to fix that. Regarding Constantine, he is certain that he has Maggie covered. Teresa must thus carry out her half of the agreement, after which they will be set for life.